What is up, everyone? We are on day 20 of Miracle March, and I'm coming live from Manhattan, y'all. I'm in the streets of Manhattan in New York City, and so today is going to be maybe a little bit more noisy. You may see some yellow cabs, and you may hear some people talking, but nevertheless, we still got our special guest. And for those who are joining us for the first time, Miracle March is an intentional month where we are helping, motivating, and inspiring aspiring entrepreneurs, giving them tools to succeed in their businesses. And so today we got a super special guest, Miss Theresa. How are you, dear?
Hey, hey everyone. I'm doing amazing.
Man, thank you for being here. And I'm a few minutes behind because I'm in the hustle and bustle of New York City. And how are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to give me today. I appreciate you so much. And I just have to put it out there. You are one of my favorite people in Sub 2, and you inspire me so much, Keston. You don't even understand.
Thank you so much. And it's because of people like yourself that the reason why I do what I do. So thank you for allowing me to pour into you. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
so we
So
were on
what?
the daily dial, and one day I said, "Hey guys, let's do this really fun thing. I'm gonna do this month of giving back," and you got a spot because it was pulled up in like 3 minutes.
You know what? I kept hitting another day and I was like, sorry, this was taken. I'm like, I went to the next day and the next day and the next day, and I kept doing it. And I was like, yes, I got a spot.
Oh my god! And
So
so
definitely.
tell me what would be that thing you want to talk about?
So I don't have anything specific. I have a lot of topics, but I know our time is limited here. So I'm going to try to just, focus on the things that are most important. I am so into functional medicine right now and regenerative medicine, and
Mm,
really just healing the mind with the body. And I'm watching all these super inspirational things, and I've actually gone on my own journey myself and healed myself in certain ways. And I think when we last spoke, we talked about, like, my end goal was to open up a healing center of the mind, but I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. And so I felt like I had to experience certain things in order for me to know exactly where I wanted to be. And as I've gone on this journey now, I'm starting to find where exactly I want to be. I maybe not I don't have everything down to a science yet, but this stuff that I'm doing, and I was sharing with Betsy, is just super phenomenal. But the other part of it is I'm trading my time for money, and can't seem to really find where I fit in with Sub 2. And I know there's so much value there. And I was just telling her, like, I went on the daily dial the other day, like, all right, I've got to self-discipline myself. I really got to get back into doing acquisitions. It's what I'm good at. And something just keeps pulling me back, saying, no, you're not living in your truth. That's not what you want to do. You hate doing acquisitions. So why are you even not being true to yourself? The things that inspire you are healing people, healing yourself, making that change and difference in a different way. So, but I feel like it's like I should start somewhere. Like, real estate is the driving force to give me financial freedom. So maybe I basically have one foot in the door and one foot out the door when it comes to, real estate and acquisitions and doing that whole thing.
like like many people, right? Many people got their foot in and out the door of real estate. Now, are you clear that real estate is the avenue that you're going to use, or is it when you get in, you kind of lose focus on that? Because I think if it is, you're able to hold that thought in front of you and knowing that this is what I'm using to get to the other thing, And my business coach, he says that real estate is a thing that got him to his thing, right?
Right.
Um, and I feel the same way. Now, is that something that you're holding in front of you and saying like, this deal is getting me one step closer to doing the medicine that you want to do and holistic healing stuff? Is that kind of the thought process, or is it like I'm doing real estate to buy a house for my kids or myself?
I would say that when it comes to doing real estate, it is like, okay, if I just self-discipline myself and work through this stuff that I don't really want to do, that it will be the driving force to give me what I truly want. But I also feel like there's other ways. So like, um, I'm actually working on laundry arbitrage right now,
Okay.
and that's taking over failing laundromats and doing a long-term lease with the landlord, and then retooling the store and putting new equipment in there, and cash flowing a business that way. So that's something that I'm working on, and I'm in a course right now doing that,
Okay.
and I'm really really enjoying that. So I wouldn't say that my foot is all the way out the door with real estate. It's just one foot in the door and one foot out the door with acquisitions.
Sure. Now, what gives you the confidence that that is something that you're gonna absolutely stick towards?
I think the laundromat is something I've always wanted to do.
Uh,
I'm more of a hands-off person, so um, I like to be able to let my phone die at the bottom of my purse, and if you know 10 calls are missed, it's okay, right? And when you're doing acquisitions for wholesaling, that's not something you can do. You can really miss an important call, and time is that's money. So, and with laundromats, I feel like it's such a hands-off thing that really the only time that you're going to need to do anything is if like the washing machine breaks, you know? So I wouldn't say that I have like a passion for it. I just think it's something that's really going to work with my personality, and having a semi hands-off business that can cash flow, and there's minimal requirements from me and responsibility from me that I have to do on a day-to-day operation.
got it. Now, and I'm lovingly gonna push you right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Loving.
Yes.
So, did you feel that way about real estate when you first started real estate?
As far as being super excited,
Yep.
like that dopamine you feel once you start something new, and then it fades away, and then you start something new and it fades away.
That thing right there.
That
Yeah.
thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just as excited. Yeah.
What do you think is gonna be the difference?
I think that I'm more comfortable with getting a laundromat under contract and then just letting it cash flow and then getting another one. Um, Versus I don't like wholesaling. I don't. And my son
Oh,
is my
I
partner.
feel you. I totally feel you. I totally understand. And here's the thing, like if you if you go back and listen to what you're saying,
Yeah.
I hear the end result, right? I
Hmm.
hear what I'm gonna do. This is gonna happen. I hear the picture being painted, which I think it's awesome that you're able to do that, right? But please understand that the process is gonna be the same. The process of getting a laundromat, somebody to say yes, and I'm not saying that you have to love the thing so much. Just like I totally don't like wholesaling. I don't like it at all, right? But I did it to get to the thing, right?
Hmm.
Because regardless of which industry it is, and I love for people to do what they love. And so with even within real estate, I would guide people towards doing a strategy that they enjoy doing more of, right? And that could get them to the ultimate, which is cash flow. And here's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that what you're after right now is cash flow. You pivoting and starting to go into business buying essentially is you chasing after cash flow. You don't love real estate, you don't love the business buying laundromat type of thing. You are after cash flow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so even in real estate, I don't understand why people just follow the herds and start going into wholesaling when they're after cash flow. Now I understand people who want quick cash. I get that. Um but without being on a team and without having the right partners or having the right grind or having the right access to the information to do the things properly, then more than likely you're gonna quit. Especially if it's your like you're not a salesperson or anything like that. More than likely, most people quit, right?
Right.
And so, are you going into this other thing knowing, expecting that there's a learning curve and you're not gonna like this process?
Am I going into it not expecting not expecting a learning curve, you said?
Expecting a learning curve. Like,
Expecting a learning
do
curve.
you do you, do you understand that you're gonna go through a period of time where this is gonna absolutely suck, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, this is just like real estate," and then your subconscious mind is gonna remind you, "Do you really think you could do this, Teresa? Like, you just quit." Or you've eased up on real estate. What makes you think you could actually do this?
Um, well, I don't think I shared everything with you. So I'm still doing real estate. And, I had my own wholesaling business. I had 5 lead managers. We were spending more money than we were making.
Sure.
So Trevor and I, what we're doing now is just driving for dollars, finding properties, and I'm still making calls. But like, I made 5 calls this week. So I'm still doing it, but I
Right.
don't enjoy it. And instead of spending lots of money on all these systems,
Mhm.
I'm just finding a few properties on PropStream, driving for dollars with the PropStream and then making a few calls. So I'm still doing it, just on such a smaller scale than I was.
Right. I mean, now you're kind of going for a wish and a hope, right? Like that's more of what that is, because without the intentionality behind it, and not to say that you may definitely just find a deal, and let's say you found a deal. You found a deal that gave, like, you made 50K on this deal that you were just randomly driving for dollars. What's next?
Keep that momentum going as if I didn't even get the deal and just keep going. My son Trevor's more into the wholesaling, so he would probably want to say, all right, let's get launch control again, and let's get a VA again, let's do all this, and he would want to go all in with it.
Uh-huh.
And I would support that.
Okay, so that's gonna build you back up to
More to do volume again, yeah.
the volume again.
Yeah.
Now, but what would be the change in your systems and everything else? Because it doesn't make sense to go back to do the same thing that you did before, right?
No, I mean it makes sense. It's just not something I enjoy. Like I enjoy functional medicine. I enjoy regenerative medicine. Um, Understanding how the gut is connected to your mental health, and like you can find out that you have a bacteria or a fungus in your gut that's causing OCD, and literally find that out through, a stool sample, and then heal yourself, and then you no longer have OCD. Or, you know just small things like doing grounding, cold showers, breath work, like all this stuff just intrigues me. I healed my own thyroid. Um, Tony Robbins and everything with the stuff that he does with, the stem cells and how he healed his shoulder
Mm-hmm.
after being told that he was going to have surgery by world renowned doctors, and just going to Panama, getting the stem cells, and then just being able to move his shoulder. Like that stuff excites me.
Yeah.
All of it. And so I'm sticking with the real estate despite the fact that I don't enjoy it as much,
Yep.
because I see the end goal and what I can do. I want to purchase just an idea, but 10x Health, I'd love to own my own 10x Health and
Oh
get,
yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
like that's something that I really would love to do with the infrared light and all the different stuff that entails.
Yeah. No, that would be amazing. Now,
Yeah.
here's here's what I know to be true, Teresa.
Okay.
You splitting your energy and your time and everything like that doesn't isn't gonna equate to. I mean, you could get lucky, right? But the success or the thing that you're looking for, I would not dabble in both things unless you were committing to a specific amount of time, because they're both things that you are, I would say, learning. Um, Not that you don't have real estate knowledge and you know a decent bit, but there's still a lot of learning when it comes to systems and things that has never been, it never caught traction. And
Right.
so you're on the learning curve of two major things right now. Plus, you still have your 9 to 5. How are you going to do this?
Um, I've been doing it. I work 7 days a week, and I come home, I make a few calls, and try to balance everything that I'm doing. I just do it.
No, I mean, you do it as in the action, but is it giving you money?
No, it's not yielding any results at this point. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because I feel like I'm kind of lost and I don't know exactly, there's so much in sub 2. If acquisitions isn't my thing, there's a whole Avatar series that I could watch and actually find out maybe what my avatar is. Maybe it's something else, you know.
Would
Um
you be willing to pick one, pick a side? And
yeah,
I'm okay with either side, right? Like
right.
the laundry business or business buying or real estate.
Mhm.
I'm 100% okay. I just don't think that you would go anywhere fast doing both right
Right.
now.
Just
Plus your passion, because you
mhm.
gotta put some of the regenerative things in there to keep you fueled up, keep you fired up, right? So,
Yeah.
and one of my high performance coaching clients, she absolutely loves this topic and is something that is part of her purpose as well. So I should
Mm.
connect you too. Uh,
Yeah, I would love that. I actually just got on Friday bioidentical hormone replacement, and that was something Tony Robbins recommended for women that went through the change of life. And like these things, this is what excites me. Like I'm so excited for this. So I would absolutely love to talk to her, because I feel like if I'm just as excited, I can only imagine how excited she would be.
she gets fired up. You should see the look on her face when she starts talking about this stuff, like fired up.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
um,
I love that.
okay. Now, if you had to decide, and obviously, I don't want to push you to make a decision here and now, but which side would you be leaning towards?
If I had to pick Keston, I would just do the real estate. And I know that goes against everything I just said, but I have the support from my son. You know, he's the one that keeps me accountable. Um, he sends me pictures of something that I'm afraid of in my life, and he's like, "Come on, mom, if you don't do this, this is gonna happen. Like, come on, let's go out driving for dollars." I have his support, and I think it's about team. And I feel like if I had to choose, I would pick that, because he's not so much on board with the laundromat. He's like, "Mom, you're just starting another thing that you're excited about, and eventually you're going to run into the same problems that you are with, you know, with the real estate, all the challenges, and then you're going to be back to square one looking for something else. Like, let's just stick to the wholesaling and all the stuff that we've already learned, and let's just keep going with it. We're doing things on a smaller scale, so what? But we're one deal away from getting back to where we were, and, you know, getting the business back up and running. Let's just stick to this." So if I had to choose, I would choose to just stay with real estate.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah. You blinked out for a second.
Oh, okay. Um, okay, so let's say real estate. Let's say real estate is the thing that you choose. Um, how much would it take for you to be able to get the financial freedom that you want per month?
I would want to at least have at least 2 deals a month. So
So,
with engineering that and with all the KPIs, I know I would have to be doing a lot more volume than I'm doing now.
but how much is the monthly number that you need? Like, how much a month would you need?
20, because it would be I split with my son equally 50-50. So 10 each would get me to a place of comfortability where I can just woosah.
Right.
Hey, OG, what's up, bro?
Okay, sounds good. So here's what. Do you think that you could do a real estate strategy that could get you to 20K a month? Because 20K a month in wholesaling, that's all. I don't want to say it's a lot of work, but it requires systems. It requires a lot, and it could be one deal a month, right? It could be 2 deals a month. It could be those things.
Right.
But you're gonna have to work for those things. That's not passive income.
Right.
Just want to be clear on that, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So, are you looking for passive income or active income?
I'm looking for both, but I feel like you have to crawl before you walk. And so I'm willing to do the wholesaling now, but eventually I just want to hold property. And
Explain to me what crawling before you walk in real estate means.
it means that I have no money. So in order for me to start holding property, I feel like I need to build my war chest up, as Pace would say, before I start trying to get into properties, you know, holding properties and having a higher level of responsibility.
Got it.
Um,
Could
but
you build your war chest using private money in terms of you borrow enough money as reserve for the property itself?
yeah, absolutely. And I know that there's strategies out there that I could pay myself on a wholesale deal from one LLC to the next LLC. And, you know, I could wrap something and, you know, get an acquisition price there and then still cash flow on top of it. And I'm willing to do that.
But
My son basically tries to keep me disciplined. He's like, "Mom, Pace says you gotta, for every 10 deals you wholesale, then you hold the property. Like, let's work on this first. Like, you're always trying to go left." So I feel like he's really intentional with trying to keep me grounded.
yeah,
And so I kind of follow his lead and say, "All right, Trevor, like, all right, we're going to just start trying to wholesale some property first, and then we'll work towards that.
Got it.
I
So
think more of a team, effort and making decisions together. And he kind of pulls me back because I'm a risk taker. If I
yeah,
owned my house outright, I'd be like, all right, let's get a HELOC and let's just go buy a house, flip it. And, I understand you're supposed to use other people's money, but I'd use my own. I wouldn't even care. I would
yeah.
just jump and dive right in. And he's more conservative. He's more reserved, and like he's more practical with his thinking and saying, all right, before we do this, let's do this. So
Sounds like an awesome guy.
he's amazing. Yeah.
Sounds like a absolutely awesome guy. So okay, let's come up with next steps because we're coming to the end
Okay.
now. I would say, what do you believe your next step should be? Let's start there.
What do I believe or what do I want?
What do you believe? What do you want? You could want too many. So
I believe my next step is to just continue driving for dollars. Like tomorrow, we're going to Navy Federal Credit Union to open up a business bank account. Um,
nice.
so I was told if you get 3 products with Navy, it automatically gives you a line of credit with them. So even if they give me $1,000 line of credit, I can work my way up and build my Paydex score up to wherever it needs to be to get unsecured lines of credit without a personal guarantee. So that's one step we're taking. And then I just talked to Betsy about like how she's raising private capital and how she can talk to me more about that. And maybe I can convince Trevor that we can just, hey, let's just go flip a property, or let's just start holding property, and tell him about the conversation we had. So I believe that the next step is to just take action and all these things I just said, and really, really stick to one thing and not be all over the place like I always am.
Yeah, I would love for your next step for you and Trevor to get on the same page about a strategy and a goal. Based on some of the things that you're sharing with me, it doesn't sound like you both are absolutely on the same page and you know exactly what the goal is. I know it's to do wholesale deals or whatever, but that's still very general.
Yeah.
Um, and so I would love for you both, for homework, get on the same page and have the same vision and goal. And even if you go with the vision as to, hey, the vision, the goal is to have X amount of properties in X amount of years, and we're gonna get there by starting to wholesale, and then for X amount of properties we wholesale, then we hold properties and start pulling dollar amounts in there, right? Whatever that strategy may be, I would want you to have that vision as to the financial freedom number, as to what you guys are working towards. Because once you have that destination, then you're able to go to it a lot easier.
Right.
Um, but I feel like starting there, having that destination for you both, and you're both going in the same direction, let them know, hey, I mean, I don't know if you're at that point of not doing the laundry mart things right now, but if you could put that time into one thing, I guarantee you're gonna have way more success at doing it, especially if you're doing it together.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically putting a number on like how much we need to make each month, really sitting down talking to him about what exactly we're going to do, and then come up with a strategy on how to execute it, everything
Yes,
basically.
yes,
How do you
yes.
think I can get him to be on board with skipping the wholesaling and just saying, listen, the limiting belief that we can't hold property until we do A, B, C, and D. Um, like to get him maybe on that page where like we can just go for it. Like I feel like he has a limiting belief that we can't, and I feel like we can.
Is he an integrator?
Yes.
You got to show him numbers. You got to show him a way to do it. So the same way that I just asked you, could you raise money? And so if it is that with numbers you're able to show him how it could be done, say, hey, we could raise X amount. Like if we underwrite a deal and it's a buy and hold property, and we raised an additional as our operating reserves, that way we have the money in case we run into an issue. Um, for integrators, a plan makes sense, which stresses you out because you're not that detailed of a person. So sitting down to do that stresses you out. And the only reason I could tell you this is because I had to do it for my wife.
Right.
And it stresses me out to get that detailed. But it is something as a leader that you would have to you would have to do.
Right. Yeah, I feel like he's really, when he hears something from somebody that he really respects, that's, like Pace or Grant Cardone, like he heard something
Yeah.
from Grant that said, never buy a house. It's not an asset, it's a liability. And he took that with such, value. He's like, I'm never buying a house. And I'm like, Trevor, you heard, he's like, no, Grant said, like, you never ever want to buy a house.
Yeah.
It, you know what I mean? And like when Pace said wholesale 10 properties before you ever buy your first property. But now Pace is saying other things now, like, hey, I'm gonna help you raise capital, because if you're focusing on acquisitions, we want to, instead of you wholesaling the deal, like I'll give you the money to get into the deal and become 50% owner. Like he's pushing that now. So I'm like putting that in front of Trevor, like, look, no, see, things are shifting here. Like maybe we can do this. But I think what you said just makes so much sense with just like putting the numbers in front of him and showing him that we can execute this. Like it's possible and
Yeah.
there's no risk. Like we have a war chest, money. When we raise private capital, we accounted for like, you know, if the roof blows off, we have this. You know what I mean? And him seeing that and having that security, he'll be more likely to want to pull the trigger.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Um, Dave Ramsey, he advised people to cut their credit cards up and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that someone that you would listen to?
I don't know. I can't really make an informed decision just based off of somebody who says they want to cut up credit cards. Um, I'm not looking to cut up my credit cards, so I'll listen to him, but I don't know if I'll agree with what he's saying until I listen to him.
Yeah, and so basically, Dave Ramsey teaches people how to get out of debt,
Okay.
but he teaches them to cut their credit cards up and to don't use credit cards and all that type of stuff. Now, the advice that Dave Ramsey is giving is good for maybe 90 to 95% of the world, right? Like of America. Like it's absolutely good advice for specific people. Now, when Pace and when um, Grant Cardone, when they're saying certain things, that's for a certain set of people as well.
Right.
And what we tend to do, and I've seen this happen over and over, especially when it comes to Pace, is that he's having a specific conversation with someone about something, and everybody takes it as what he means for them as
For
well.
everybody.
And when it's specific advice for that person in that situation.
That's
And
exactly what I told him. It's funny you said that.
so I just want you, and I don't know the context he used it in. I
Yeah,
have never heard him say that. Um, but I'm also not on a lot of the live Zoom calls, so I can't claim to have hear him say much when it comes to those things. But consider, I would consider the person that he was speaking to and who he was giving that advice to,
sure.
right? Um, and if it's something that applies to you guys, then a thousand times, please do it. Do it that way, right? But if it is, and why did he give that advice? Why is it that you should wholesale 10 houses before doing buy and hold? Understanding the why behind it. Is it that this person was in $100,000 worth of debt? Is it that, what's the reasoning behind doing deals was $100,000 assignment fee?
Right.
Advice was so specific that it's very hard to just take it and say, "Oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do." You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't there for the
But
Zoom that
going
was
back
up.
to that conversation, okay, going back to how you could have this conversation with your son, it will require you to have numbers.
Okay. When you say have numbers, are you saying that I should already like have an example deal in front of me and then maybe talk to somebody like Betsy who can say, okay, this is what we can loan, this is how we can raise capital for you, and you know, have XYZ amount of money put aside, and for this, and all the concern Trevor has for why he doesn't want to make those moves yet, to kind of, let him see that this will all be covered, this will all be covered, this will all be covered, and show him that this is possible, um, and can actually happen. Like, some is that what you mean when you say show him numbers? Like,
That would be amazing. That would be amazing for him because you'd be speaking his love language and how he communicates.
okay. Do
It's
you think I
almost
could
like
have
an
a
investor pitch.
hypothetical, almost like a what?
It's almost like an investor pitch. And yes, you could have a hypothetical. You don't have to have a real deal.
Okay. Okay.
He just needs to see the concept, right?
Right. Proof of concept.
Yeah, he just needs to see the concept as to how it could work.
Okay. All right. I'm excited to have this conversation with him.
Be prepared. He is the integrator. He will ask you difficult questions.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm glad that you kicked me in my butt today about the same thing my son has been kicking me in the butt about starting something new and getting excited about it and then realizing it's going to be just as hard as the last thing I did and the thing before that, and really just trying to pull me back to and center me into what I know and what I'm good at already and what I've invested 3 years in. Like, why are you going off trying to do something else? Like, just stay here and let's execute the plan.
I must say he's a pretty smart kid. I give him that. I
He
gotta give
is.
him credit.
He is.
So
But
any no that and that is incredible that you have such a great team player on your team. So
yeah, he's amazing. I'm so blessed.
yeah. Now, any final questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I know that you're into the whole, you do the whole life coaching and stuff, and I would love to learn more about that journey. And it may not be the same exact journey as you, but like I want to get into that network of people that I can maybe talk to and, you know, explore different ideas with people. And I don't know anybody other than you that is into that.
Man, did you hear about my new group coaching program?
I did hear you mention it. Yeah.
You should totally. I think that would be a great opportunity for you to be around, like you said, that like-minded people, and also be guided on thought process and get tools to be able to go on this journey that you're on and to stay centered, right? Like to bring you back
Yeah.
when you start straying. I actually think that would be a perfect fit for you.
Okay. You also said you were going to connect me with somebody that you think would be on my level with the functional and regenerative medicine. So
Oh
I
yeah,
just didn't forget about that.
I'll have
How do I,
I'll have Betsy I'll have Betsy connect you both.
all right, cool. And then how do I get into the group calls? Is there a link
The group
or?
coaching calls. Yep, we'll send that over to you as well.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, we'll send that. Anything you need, we could hook you up.
All right, perfect. So how long are you on the East Coast? Or this is don't you don't live out here, do you?
No, we're here until Wednesday. We're here
Until
until
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. And you're just
yeah.
staying in New York, or are you going to be in Jersey at all, or
Just New York.
just New York? Okay,
Just
nice.
New York for now. Yep, that's where my parents and my son. That's where everyone is at for me.
Oh, nice.
So we're just gonna be on that side. Next time I'll come hang out with you guys in Jersey.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, you
Awesome, Teresa. Well, thank.
might run into my son because he goes to New York almost about every day. He's doing the interviewing people what they're wearing. So he
Oh,
just he connects with random people on the street and tell me about your outfit and what inspired you, what your goals are for the year. And then he asks them what they think about the big red shoes. So in fashion, they got these big giant red shoes now that everybody's craving, like everybody's going crazy for. So that's what he does like on a day-to-day basis.
that's super cool.
Yeah,
Super.
trying to build his YouTube channel, and so maybe you'll run into him.
That would be cool.
Right.
Well, Teresa, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
an amazing conversation. It's been truly a pleasure and a blessing to be here with you.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, and this has been amazing. I look forward to hearing that how that conversation goes. I look forward to having you in that group coaching, Purpose Ways group coaching program, because I really think it would help you in being able to put the right address into your GPS so you can get to where you need to get to. So thank you
I
so.
think so. I think so too. And thank you so much, Keston, for giving your time to me and to everybody else that got on your calendar. That you're taking your time to do this for everybody. I appreciate you immensely, and yeah, I look up to you a lot. So
Appreciate that.
yes.
So,
All right.
so guys, this has been a different one. We are on the road in New York City, but still getting it done. Miracle March. Thank you all for still joining, still being with us. What an amazing conversation with Teresa. And I'm excited. Tomorrow is day 21. We've been doing this for 21 days, y'all. So super excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace and love, y'all.